Welcome to Winter in West Central Illinois and the midweek devotion of the Littleton United Methodist Church. This week, we look at wisdom literature as found in Proverbs chapter 1. Today I thought maybe we could read together a little bit of wisdom literature. That is, wisdom lit is probably one of my favorite genres of Scripture. And this is from Proverbs, the first chapter. And it goes like this. Wisdom shouts in the streets wherever crowds gather. She shouts in the marketplaces and near the city gates. And she says to the people, "How much longer will you enjoy being stupid fools? Won't you ever stop sneering and laughing at knowledge? Listen as I correct you and tell you what I think. You completely ignored me and refused to listen. You rejected my advice and paid no attention when I warned you." There's a consequence to ignoring wisdom, isn't there? So when you are struck by some terrible disaster, or when trouble and distress surround you like a whirlwind, I will laugh and make fun. You will ask for my help, but I won't listen. You will search, but you won't find me. No, you would not learn, and you refused to respect the Lord. You rejected my advice and paid no attention when I warned you. Now you will eat the fruit of what you have done, and until you are stuffed full with your own schemes. Sin and self-satisfaction bring destruction and death to stupid fools. But if you listen to me, you will be safe and secure and without fear of disaster. Oh, some biting words there. This is in the contemporary English version, and that's a pretty blunt, some pretty blunt words there. In this fairly short passage of wisdom literature, wisdom, knowledge, common sense is personified as a master teacher. One thing we learn about wisdom, the master teacher, is that she's not so hard to find. Every place you look around you, there is an opportunity to gain knowledge, to gain wisdom, to gain insight, enlightenment. And it's sort of up to us to have our antennas, up so we can see that. As I read this, I remember in the Analects of Confucius, that Confucius once said something to the effect, I can't quote it exactly, but something to the effect of, whenever he walks with two other people, they both become his teachers. He looks at one and learns how to act. He looks at the other and learns how not to act. This passage is saying something very similar, that wisdom isn't hard to find. Wisdom's not hidden. Wisdom is something that is ethereal. It's around us everywhere. We just have to be wise people and not, as the Scripture says, stupid fools that ignore it and mock it and sneer at it. Foolishness, sneering at wisdom and not learning our lessons, seems to be an ailment that afflicts many of us today. But we also see that wisdom is there before we dig our hole. After we dig a hole for ourselves, it's a little bit harder to dig out of it. Shucks, it's really hard. Sometimes we have to live with the consequences of our own foolish actions because it's too late. It sounds mean. This passage, as I said, personifies wisdom. And so it says here that when you are struck by some terrible disaster or when trouble and distress come up, surround you like a whirlwind, I will laugh and make fun of you. Now, that doesn't mean wisdom is literally making fun of us. It means that after you've dug a hole, it's a little bit late to second guess some of the mistakes you made. Wisdom is something that comes before you get in a jam, and sometimes we learn our lesson about something after we get in a jam, but likelihood is, if we're not people of wisdom, it's not going to be there just magically at the moment we need it. If you want to be a wise person, start searching for wisdom now, not after you've dug a hole so deep you can't dig yourself back out. At the end of this, it says, you will eat the fruit of what you've done. Or today we might say, you made your bed, you're going to lie in it. But at the end it says, but if you listen to me, if you become wise, you will be safe and secure and without fear of disaster. Now, at this point, I probably should comment that this is a proverb. It's not a promise. Proverbs are pithy sayings that kind of give indication of general wisdom and a good way to live our lives. And the likelihood is high that if you are a wise person, if you have foresight, if you learn your lessons as you live through life, that you will be safer and more secure and with less fear of disaster. But it doesn't mean it's not possible for bad things to happen. It just means that this is a wise way to live your life, and those who are wise live better lives on the whole than those who are foolish. What a wonderful day it is out there. The temperature is rising. The snow and the ice are melting. The weatherman says that we're supposed to have a few of good days coming up. It makes you kind of long for Groundhog Day. And Groundhog Day is coming. It's not here yet, and I know the winter's not over, but a person can hope. May God watch over you this week, the rest of the week, and bring you back safely to worship Him together with us on this weekend, on Sunday. And during the time, our wisdom literature reminds us that wisdom is everywhere to be found. May God open your eyes to wisdom for this coming week. Between now and Sunday, may there be something new that you learn and that blesses your life.